Hello, good afternoon, good evening. It's Chrysandro. Uh, the evening after the evening before, well, it's been a kind of a poor run. I mean, both teams, the men and the women, both out of the FA Cup. Uh, I think it's the defeats to teams they should be beaten. The women we start off with first because that's a little bit more palatable. Drew nil. Sorry, was it Drew 1-1? See, my head's just all frazzled. No, drew 0-0 against Reading. Lost out on penalties. Played right. Played all right. This was at the same time that obviously I was watching the Chelsea game, which I'll upload a video of that tonight. It's been kind of very hectic, so I do apologise on that front. But the women did very well. But again, ultimately, there's no silverware for the women, so that's ended. After going out in the Conti Cup to Chelsea, it's now all about trying to avoid relegation for the women's side, and we're going to start that by taking on Manchester City this weekend on the Sunday, which I shall be there, and we'll bring you the aftermath live from the Academy Stadium. But at least the women can hold their heads up high. But the main issue, well, the main subject for this video is the dismal performance by the men against Sheffield United in the FA Cup fifth round. Again, we bow out in the fifth round and to championship opposition, like we did last season where we lost 1-0 to Middlesbrough in another poor performance. And I have no idea. I have no words. It was poor, and a lot of people were talking in the group saying that the issues are all about we should have started strong, but you look at that lineup, and there's very very few players on it that I can give a pass to. Could give a pass to Fraser Forster. I know people try to blame him for being beaten at his near post, but the goal. Almost Ricky Vieira-esque, really. Sheffield United played okay. I mean, they defended very well and they attacked very well, but they only had one shot on goal, and that was literally the shot that they scored with and won with. Once again. So yeah, and that shot that was Njaye, I think his name is. Now Senegalese international, so I think he started off at Boreham Wood. So it shows how far he's risen. Good luck to him. Yeah, he did a little jinking run through in the penalty area and then shot through Dyer, who turned his back on the ball, probably an unsighted Forster, which is why he had to stick out his leg because he saw the ball late. And that is literally what their winning goal. But even before then, I mean, I was looking at the stats of that game, and it said we had 4 shots on targets. Can anyone remember their keeper having to make a massive save? The only opportunity I can think of was Lucas Moura's cross-come shots that floated onto the crossbar, but I don't think he meant that. In the way he kind of wheeled off, I don't think he meant the shot. So obviously it was a cross that was deflected onto the crossbar. That was the only opportunity I could think of us actually threatening them, and that was from an accident. Other than that, I mean, we had a forward line of Lucas, who I mentioned, Sani again, and Richarlison. I mean, Richarlison I can't give a pass to because, well, as much of a pass as I can for a £60 million striker. I could give a pass to because he hasn't really had that much game time. He's either come off the when he's either started or he hasn't, and he hasn't started more than he has started. He hasn't just come off the bench or something like that in games which could kind of build momentum. He hasn't even had that. I know he's had some injury issues as well, but he's hardly been given the chance. And when he has been, he's kind of like been thrown in the last couple of games, and he's been hauled off after having 2 identical shots, which threaten the corner flags more than the goal, and all of them in pretty good positions to actually strike. So I know he needs the momentum, but it's all a case of, as I said in the group, it's a case of giving him the time to do that. I mean, now that we're out of the cup, I guess he'll have all the time he wants. We're not challenging for any silverware, save for the Champions League, but you see us actually getting far in the Champions League based on the performances in the cup so far. and the fact that we were a goal down, even though we're playing very well against Milan, we still didn't really threaten them. So we have to see what we can do in the second leg, and I have no hope for that one. But then the rest of it, defensively, it was just as strong as it can be. I mean, Dyer played, and Sanchez was there as well alongside Davies. So the two of the three, but the back three were mainstays. Romero was rested. Pedro Porro, who's come on £40 million, still yet to actually do anything decent really for us, and that's not to put him down. I mean, this was his second start. His last start, we lost 4-1 to Leicester. So there we go. But yeah, it didn't really do too much in the game from what I can remember off the top of my head. I'm trying to rack my brain to find anything. And it's just kind of funny hearing people saying that Emerson should have started. You know, how things come full circle. But I mean, so we did start strong, and that's just two of the players I mentioned. Left back Perisic, who he's had a lot of assists really, but hasn't really done too much to say that he's doing very well. You know what I mean? And it's just hard to quantify what he does do. I mean, he gets to the byline a lot, puts in the cross of his he's just busy, but without actually being. I mean, I can't fault him. He's got the numbers there. I think it's 8 assists or something like that in all competitions. So he's doing the work, but just needs to get going. Then has a moment, then stops and stutters, and then it's nothing, and then it's just bitty. I think that's the one I'm looking for. It's just really, really bitty. Then midfield, Højbjerg alongside Sarr. Sarr played alright. I mean, I think it was a 7 out of 10 performance for me, 6 out of 10 performance for me, that sort of thing, 6 or 7. Same with Højbjerg. And then in the front three, so Son, Richarlison, and Lucas. Lucas, I mean, like I said in the group, it was interesting seeing him there. I mean, he did his dribbles that we're used to seeing, and then nothing came of him, nothing at all. Apart from that cross-come shot which hit the bar, but other than that, no real end product, and that's the issue with him. That's why there's always been an issue with him. You know what I mean? Always been an issue. And then Sonny, once again, just more of a passenger in the game. Didn't really do anything. Didn't really do anything in the game. And Richarlison, of course. Still new, so I can't really just go at him. But it's just very disappointing, especially for Sonny, really, that I expected a lot more, and he didn't provide anything. I mean, there he was meant to be our main guy, because Kane was rested, he was on the bench, although he had to come on with about 10 minutes to go. And really, no disrespect to Sheffield United, they played very well, and they did very well. They were very, very good, very good value for their win. But he shouldn't have needed to have come on. Harry Kane, when he did come on, he did miss that header, but then again, he was barely warm when he was on the pitch. So I don't have no blame on him for that. But it's just another dismal performance in a game that matters. I mean, I don't give a shit about the league form. We just lose every game. No, we're not going to catch Arsenal, who are at the top of the league, so there's no title to fight for. I don't give a fuck about fourth place. You can stick your fourth place up your ass, as far as I'm concerned. I'm sick to death of all this fourth place this, fourth place that. It's why people are saying that that Pochettino did very, very well. He did very well in the sense that he had us challenging for title, but in the end, in his 5 years, no pots. So he's about just as successful as Bloomin' Conte is at this point. And even then, we get to Conte. I mean, if we're to believe that, he's had a hand in all the games, he must take responsibility for that game as well last night. In fact, that in the sense that it was just kind of a rigid formation. I mean, they were playing a three as well, and their centre backs would come forward and maraud, and they just left us really exposed in the middle. If you know what they just kind of carried out what Chris, I forgot his surname now, the former Sheffield United manager, Chris, it'll come to me. Chris Wilder, that's it, thank you. Just reminded me of what Chris Wilder used to do with Sheffield United, with the centre backs will maraud and get forward and outnumber in midfield, or even get out to the wings and actually put crosses in. That's what they were kind of doing, and you saw Ahmedovic, Ahmed Hodzic. Sorry, I butchered his name. Bosnian international, very good player. Like him a lot, and that's what he did time and time again, getting forward a lot. And we had no real flipping answer, even though they didn't really. I mean, they didn't really threaten us in terms of shots on target, because they only had one in all game. They still caused us issues, and the fact that, we were just so inflexible against a side who are prepared to endanger you like that. You have to say that, and we're able to believe that Conte had a hand in that. You have to say that the blame lays square at his feet for the defeat as well. And I think that's Stellini's first defeat in charge of Spurs in his 5 games, I think it is. That's his 5th game. And it's the embarrassing one of the lot, really. Literally toothless. And didn't really threaten them at all. And that is the issue, that's what hurts me the most. And everything that we know should have started strong. That was a strong lineup, and it was poor and pathetic. Because you see that most of those players, a lot of those players played against Manchester City and played against Chelsea, and put in such gallant performances, and we won those games. Put them up against Sheffield United, and they think, I don't know, is it just a mentality thing that they think they could just turn up and just roll them over, with literally next to no effort whatsoever. It's on the men's on the wind up, you know what I mean? It was absolutely pathetic. So, I mean, I haven't seen a draw. I don't give a toss what the draw is. I mean, Spurs are not in it, so I don't give a fuck who's in it now. The competition will be better hell for all I count until next season. It's just another wasted season. And the thing is, I mean, if we're gonna go forward with this with things as they are, then Conte needs to tell us whether he's actually staying or whether he's actually going. I mean, we need the stability to start from there. We spent, I can't think off the top of my head, 40 million on Poro in January, bringing in Danjuma. Danjuma then is also not getting any game time. He kind of came off for the last 2 minutes of the game. What's he going to do? I would have sold him over Lucas any day of the week. But apparently, I think that he went with Lucas because he was more experienced, but he's come back from an injury, and even then he wasn't really fancy through the rest of the season, so it's kind of a wasted start, really. Danjuma, I don't know what he's done, but he's really not getting any starts, as you would expect for a player who's out on loan and actually looking to try and do well here. And man scores on his debut in the last round against Preston and doesn't get a look in at all until the last 2 minutes of the game yesterday. What is the point? Wasting a good talent there, and I think he's a good player. So there we go. We're out of the FA Cup. Just we're out of the League Cup. Just we're out of the title challenge. Now the Champions League. You turn around a 2-goal deficit against a team where in the first leg we played very, very well, but we looked very toothless up front. What are we going to do? So, as far as I'm concerned, I've written off the season, man. It's all done, as far as I'm concerned. It's all done. And just round and round and round we go, because come July, we shall see what happens. No doubt we'll spend more money on more players, but it's a case of the mentality that needs to change. And if that means having to get. I mean, that means having to get. I mean, start afresh. But it's all. But that's. I know that's going to involve a lot of time and a lot of money, but it's something that needs to be done because we need to change this mentality. We need to actually change a lot of things about this club in order to start moving forward. And they have to be brave now. They have to think about okay, the likes of Dyer. Yes, I mean, okay, I like him, but prone to the occasional brain farts. The same thing that we did with Dele. We had to move him on if there's a team that actually wants him. I mean, he's still a good player, so he will serve someone well. But we just need to change that mentality, and that means getting rid of a lot of the players who have been there for a while and been there at a time where we've had highs and then just long lows. And he's one of those. Lloris as well, I'd say. I would say Lloris as well, but he's leaving at the end of the season, so that'll take care of itself. But I mean, Sanchez probably has to move on as well. I mean, he looked very panicky last night, and that's not what you want in a centre back, especially if a centre back of his age and his experience. You know, you need someone that you can actually depend on, and so we need to move on a few players. A lot of players will be coming back from loan as well, like Lo Celso and Ndombele. And we need to try and find buyers for them as well. We need to actually cut off all the ties that for the last season of Pochettino. Cut off the players, because we've had a couple of managers in since then, and the same thing has happened. You know, but this actually is the whole season this time, not just bits and pieces, but the whole season where we have looked absolutely poor, save for about 3-4 games. And that is not good enough. It has been a poor season throughout. But it is what it is. And, I know there's tons of people who are just keen, who have not said much, to just, in the group, just keen to come straight on and start lambasting Levy, as if someone, like someone said in the group, as if Levy was one who picked the team and set the tactics and the formation. And there's a time and a place for it, but as I said, many other fans have got agendas. It's what they feel they have to do, but it is what it is. But anyway, that's just my 2 bits on it. I'm not even that annoyed or angry. I'm not even that disappointed. I just come to expect it now, and that's not a good feeling to be. I mean, back in 2016, 2017. I mean, on such a high, going into every season thinking, yeah, we could win this, we could challenge for this, and we do challenge for it, and then, here's where we are right now. And I think it's to the point now where I'm thinking that, especially for Conte, if he doesn't feel like he can commit, then probably it's just time to go. And at this point in time, I don't give a toss who comes in. If it's going to be Pochettino again, then so be it. At least he knows his way to the club. That's a benchmark I've set right now. That's literally it, man. But whatever happens, we need stability. We need long-term strategy. We need a bit of ruthlessness, and just things that's kind of lacking from the committee, really, of Conte, Paratici. That partnership needs to actually start bearing fruit. I mean, we brought in Poro over January. He's hardly had a kick. And when he has had a kick, he hasn't looked like the upgrade that many people were saying that he would be. But like I said, he's still got time. He's just arrived at the club, isn't he? So I'm not going to lambast him straight away. But what's left for us now? What's left for us? Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant. It really was a rant as well. It just got to the point where I was just kind of, it is what it is now. It is what it is. I'm done with the season. I'm done. I mean, after Wednesday, I'm done, because that's when we play Milan, and I'll be done. Done. It's all over with. It's all over with. I'm sure the interest will stay for those who who feel top four is a trophy. So they'll still keep their BDI and biting their nails, worried about whether we'll make top four or not. That's up to them. You know, I'm not making fun. I'm just saying whatever floats your boat. Me, if Milan beat us, that's it. Turn me off until my hopes are built up again. Over the summertime. We shall see. Anyway, thanks for listening to me rant. Thanks for listening to me vent. You all take care. I'll see some of you at Wolves on Saturday, and also see a couple of you at Manchester City on Sunday. And you all take care. Thank you for watching. Come on, you Spurs, for what it's fucking worth. I don't give a fuck anymore. We out, man. You know, you all know what to do.